What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Tilt City here on FSI. Game week 10. I think I got it right this week on Golazzo, and it just stuck with me because it's a nice round number. But regardless, we're here, Tilt City. We're back after we took last week off for a number of different reasons. It was my wife's birthday. Just didn't make it easy, and I actually just kind of forgot that we didn't do it. So shows where it is on my priority list, huh? I'm Alex Super. This is Tom Stoss, buddy. What are you tilting about this week?
I'm tilting because there's a innocent Portuguese man out there, a beautiful, bald, bearded Portuguese man that never should have been such a responsibility put on him. Poor Nuno, he was never prepared for it and still got the job as of now. But really nice of him to throw a bone to Ole there and get him through another week. They're going to be saying he fixed the whole press and everything. So that's pretty nice of Nuno. He's a great guy.
I actually did like what Ole did. They've been needing to play Cavani, and I actually think playing Cavani with Ronaldo makes up for a lot of Ronaldo's issues. And we'll talk about that later because that came up actually in a DFS sense.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween, by the way.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
And to everyone out there, happy Halloween.
I like your spoopy background there, Mr. Ghost.
Oh, I forgot to turn it. Yeah, it's haunted. It's the ghost of, I don't know,
Nuno?
Mauricio Pochettino.
Okay,
I was saying Nuno too. Yeah, but it's one of like I'm saying Pochettino's got like a curse on it for what they left him out to dry, and
I don't blame him.
He's only been thriving since then, so he's hanging out.
I don't blame him. Am I tilting? I tilted that I played UFC again this week. I was gonna stop for a little bit because I just needed to ramp down my play a little bit, and it was 15 fight card. I was like, this is where I'll do better, and I did worse than I've done in a while. So of course, soccer was actually good for me for the first time in a while. So let's get into it.
Yeah, we had a good weekend. Before we do, like, subscribe, comment, do all the. Hey, I'm right on it, baby. So hit that subscribe button so you can see us almost every week, and then do the like too because we want to get those numbers up.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. That was clutch. See, I just forget about the whole show, and you remember the intricacies.
Nope, I'm a professional, man.
That's true.
I'm made for this.
Did you play this 7:30 a.m. showdown on Saturday?
Didn't touch it. No, I didn't touch it, and I would have probably gone the entirely wrong way. So I'm glad I did.
I think I played it, and I think I did all right, but not that great. Who even scored? Oh yeah. Gabriel from Saka, and then Smith Rowe, and then it was a clean sheet. Ramsdale's been very good. Everyone, myself included, kind of made fun of them for that signing, and it's better than Bueno.
He was good. He was good for Sheffield, wasn't he? He was pretty.
They were so bad it was just hard to see through it.
That's true.
At the end, they were good that one year, and then they were bad.
Yeah,
sounds like Leeds. All right, so 5-game slate on the classic slate. It was a weird one because last week we kind of had no top of the table teams. This week we had 3 big favorites, and went just how we thought it would go. City was the biggest favorite over Palace. They lost the plus 1776 Palace with the goal from Gallagher and Zaha assist from Gallagher. So if you had Gallagher, you had a nice day, and if you had City, you didn't. Laporte with that red.
Yeah, my eyes lit up when I saw him that cheap, and so you can believe that I felt that across the board. Yeah. And on top of not stacking City, but a lot of City otherwise. So yeah, tough Saturday for me. Luckily, time works for me.
Time, baby. All right, so the second biggest favorite was Liverpool over Brighton, and they drew. Sadio Mane with the goal here also had one barred off. I was upset about that because that was kind of my pivot off of Salah, even though I knew people weren't necessarily going to be on Salah. But Solly March was my boy. He got the assist to Mwepu. I did play some Trossard somewhere, I think in one lineup, but he scores. Henderson from Salah was the first one. So another favorite down. But the favorite who did win was the favorite, I think, with the least ownership. It was Chelsea over Newcastle, and not really surprising. Reece James, the fullback who we weren't playing, except for those who did, myself included. I actually made a good call there because my build just did not allow me to get to Chilwell. So I just was like, I'll play Reece James, and it worked, kind of. But he gets to brace Jorginho with the penalty.
Yeah, right. That's a solid pivot. Yeah, my eyes lit up like when I saw him there, and I think I only did it like 1 or 2 times or something like that. Didn't help me, but you know.
So this is what I'm going to want to talk about from a DFS point of view is where I got to Reece James, because
I'm curious.
it was a big process change for me, and I had Chilwell, like he was in the lineup, and it just where I thought I needed to be ended up not being where it got me to Chilwell. And Chilwell was like more expensive than Alexander Arnold, and I just didn't love the spot as much as I love the player. So it was a lineups over players thing. I talked with Tendril Storm, like he and I were messaging back and forth on Friday night. He was kind of helping me through it because I was really stuck, and it worked out for me for the most part, but we'll see one way that it didn't. So 2 more pick'em games, and this is not the way I would have saw this one. Burnley 3 over Brentford. Wood, Loughton, Charlie Taylor, Cornet again from McNeil, and then Gattos from Norgard later, not the midfielder from Brentford that we were playing, and certainly weren't playing Gattos, who subbed in. It's nice to see Chris Wood finally score. It was not nice to see Cornet score again.
Yeah, why not? You didn't get to him too much. He's
No.
kind of expensive, but you don't really want to get to him.
Yeah, I didn't want to
I
go nuts
did,
with
but
Burnley.
yeah, right. And yeah. But Chris Wood though, your boy Chris Wood finally made good. I'm glad.
And then the other pick 'em, Southampton over Watford, Che Adams from Armstrong, the 2 strikers. I actually did have a lineup with Che Adams, Adam Armstrong, and Chris Wood. And it might have been my best GPP. All right, so I wanted to talk cash because there are a lot of decision points that were hard for me, and I don't know that I've talked about it that much. Sometimes you can see the dollar amount in my account up here, which is a little misleading because I have so much money tied up in tickets. But if you've been tuning into the stuff that I do, full transparency, and you've seen it, that number is going down a lot. I've been in a bad way. So I'm trying to reconsider my play a little bit and get back to how I was playing like before the Euros, and really just make variations on my cash lineups and try to get to some higher upside spots via 2v2s or 3v3s, something like that. So, so there are a lot of points in cash. So here's one that I won. So the difference here is Robertson and Messina, which was actually better. So it's James and Ziyech. Ziyech comes on. He wasn't really expected. You thought maybe he would take some sets from Chilwell, and that became his decision point. And ultimately, like one of the things that got me off of Chilwell. I like hide shared players. I didn't know you could do this.
Oh yeah, it's that's been
cool.
really nice.
Okay, so the first thing in this lineup, and will ultimately be my undoing, is I did not want to play Phil Foden. I sent a message. I did not like the builds with Foden, and I was able to get to this spot here that I actually liked. I didn't have Jensen in. I was really hung up on playing McNeil, and it worked out because of the assist. I loved Solly March. I was ready to get off of him if he didn't play, with 3,400 on the sets, even in a bad spot. Like without the assist, he still was great. Like 8 points, I would have been thrilled. And I was playing 3 defenders. Like you couldn't stop me from doing that in cash. That wasn't the one spot that I was taking. And I'm like, I'm not moving off of this at all. So it was originally Chilwell. I wanted the savings for Robertson and Alexander. That was my base, no matter what. And this was Chilwell again. And I really wanted to play Sanchez among the cheap ones. I was not paying up a keeper. I was not going to do that on this slate because with 3 big favorites, like I didn't want to have to choose. So that said, there was a build I liked more. It was, instead of Foden and Jensen in this same lineup, it was Chucho and Grealish. Or it was Jesus and Sar.
Okay. All right.
And I think Jesus and Sar would have been better because Sar had a really nice day, which he burned me last week. He was good this week. So that was the major decision point. The other one was that, it was $1,000 difference between Reece James and Ben Chilwell. And like, if it's 300, it's kind of negligible. If it's 1,900, like Robertson and Alexander Arnold, like the price difference was like, it's worthy at this point between those two. That 1,000 between James and Chilwell, especially once Ziyech came on, I was like, I can't do that. And what it got me, like, it basically would have come down to Chilwell and probably like Rodri instead of Jensen, and Rodri actually was better than Jensen.
He had a solid day.
Even with Laporte getting sent off. But yeah, so like having a set taker on a favored team and then just going to the other Chelsea wingback felt like a much better decision than like that. But it was the Foden thing that really goofed me. And I still did fine because March was so good and I was right on McNeil. And then obviously James went off. So let's take a look. Blender got me by 3.16. Blender 316 says he just whooped my ass. So he goes up to Ederson, was actually worse than Sanchez, but we both have James. So let's look at the differences. Sarr was much better than Foden. Not what I was projecting, but he was good enough to make up for Solly March being that much better than Onyeka, who Blender talked about Onyeka on the pod this week, and I know Ryan Belangi was big on Solly March, so shout outs to Ride It Great. But the drop of the 3.5 from Foden to Sarr was able to get you up to Chilwell instead of Robertson, which was much better. And I even would have done that, but also to go up and get Ederson. So the Ederson call didn't work, but Sarr being better than Foden, like City being so bad, is actually what ended up being my downfall in cash. And I didn't want him in the first place. I was talked into Phil Foden, and it was just not a build that I liked. And I got to one that I was okay with, feeling like I had to have Foden, but I don't remember what Jesus and Grealish ended at, so I don't know it would have been much different, but it would have got me to Sarr or Chucho, which was worse than Foden. So so yeah, I want to see what Jesus was or where he finished, because I have a feeling that would have ended up being the better build. So so that's my cash. Any comment before we go in here?
You're not kidding about Foden. That was in that position he keeps playing in at. It's tough to justify that half the time, and especially when it really doesn't work out. Like you could have gone different ways. Yeah, I don't know. City was I think I said the last time, the City is regressing to my thoughts on City is regressing to where they were last season. So I just have to remember how that worked and use it to my advantage, where it's 2 goals or nothing, pretty much.
Right.
And you don't have to go too crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Phil Foden.
I don't like playing the false 9 unless it's De Bruyne.
Right. Yeah.
And he's not even on sets a ton anymore. So all right. So now that we talked cash and all those decision points, here is my king of the pitch entry, which I was in first. I was in second for a really long time behind the great Josh Engelman from Osimo, who I think the world of. He rocks, and he had a really good lineup. I don't think he won, but I was sitting behind him for a while, and then I got that second Mane goal, and I think I was in first, but it was barred off before I checked. But okay, so just looking at this really quick, wish I would have had Solly March instead of De Bruyne and then paid up the keeper to Mendy, but I never would have done that anyway. So the decision points here were, in retrospect, I wish I would have just kept the James thing here, but he was 1,100 more than Robertson. I felt like Robertson was going to do a lot better than that. I thought he'd get me at least 8, which wasn't going to make the difference yesterday. But so I go down to Rodri because I'm like, I just want a piece of City. That was basically my thought. And he gets a goal every now and then. And he did a lot yesterday. And he was actually playing at the top of the box for a lot of the time. And this is actually something Blender talked about on the pod and something that I usually do. And like, these are my 2 guys. And when he said it, I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to do that somewhere. And it ended up being that I liked this lineup enough to play it here. This was my only entry. I had a ticket. So I went to De Bruyne instead of Foden because I thought there was a chance that, De Bruyne could replicate whatever Foden did easily in terms of floor and in terms of goals. Like, he could go out and get one. And I had a feeling he'd be low on him. He kind of was. Wood was actually my second highest owned player, which you see all the sharps in this contest, and that's how you wind up with a $4,300 forward, at 24% ownership. So the other one was Mane, who I talked about on Golazzo. I liked just getting away from Salah and like just trying to catch a bunch of goals. I thought Liverpool was going to score multiple goals. I didn't think they would give up multiple goals, and then I wasn't paying up a keeper, so those were just some small pivots that I made.
I can't believe that ownership for Chris Wood in this. That's so funny. Second only to TAA.
He made so many
in this
lineups
contest.
work.
Yeah, cheap and it's a good spot for Burnley and
So-
for him too. So yeah, makes sense.
So let's take a look
wild
at the
to see that
top.
number.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's Wood and McNeil.
Okay. Yeah.
All the Chelsea guys, and then
Anthony,
a little Southampton stack went back to Redmond rather. Livermento had another big game. Jeez.
Yeah, he's been showing up, man.
Chelsea's got another wing back.
I don't know. Is he on loan there?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, God.
So is Broja.
These guys. Oh yeah, that's right. These guys. I'm sick of these guys.
So a 4-man Chelsea stack here.
Yeah.
But like Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi weren't that good, but you only got 14% ownership on James.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
In my $1, I had him in at least 60% of my lineups. I just didn't get to him in this one. And like if I would have found a way to get I don't know. If I had James instead of Robertson, which is realistic, I'm not just making things up. Like I could have done that because I was not moving off TAA. And then drop from, I don't know, De Bruyne to Solly March would have been, like a 50-point swing, and I would have won. But I wouldn't have gone Solly March there because it would have been like March, Rodri, 2 cheap forwards, and a bunch of wingbacks. So
yeah, this is 4 entries per
4 entry max. Yeah.
This one, I am shocked to see Reece James that low in something like that. Like it's a little too different for a single one, but for 4, I don't know. Yeah, I'd definitely be coming off Chilwell a lot more often. But yeah, like you said, that 1,000 is I don't know. Doesn't grab you quite as much as Robertson.
Right. Well, let's see where Chilwell ends up. I like this lineup a lot, by the way. Norgard, not necessarily, but he gets the assist. But like this makes sense. This obviously makes sense. I talked about how much I liked Curtis Jones in the spot. He didn't do much, but he did about what I thought he would. Then Solly, Havertz made a ton of sense, and Mane was the pivot off of Salah. Like I think that's a great lineup. Just came out short. Red coat. All right, here's the man you want to hear from. Just a big time Chelsea stack because they were going to be the least owned of the 3.
Yep.
And again, other than James, it didn't go off, but James did, and Wood and March were great cheap plays. Like they were the 2 best cheap plays going into the slate, and they ended up coming out the other end as the 2 best. And I mean, their ownership shows that because these are where the sharps play. And I'm glad to say that I got one of them here, and generally had a lot of March and James elsewhere. But okay, let's look at Storm really quick. He also went with the Chelsea stack because he's a genius, and he got the Cornet again. I knew he'd play Jensen. This is smart. I mean, I did have Mason Mount in this lineup to start, by the way. It was it was Mount, De Bruyne, the 2 forwards, and I don't know where the rest of the lineup went, but it couldn't have been much different. Yeah, I don't know. All right, what did Josh finished up there? So, all right, so he's a Liverpool fan, I believe. I think he's got some Liverpool art hanging behind him as he's doing the NBA show every week or every day at this point. I've noticed that, so I'm not surprised to see his Liverpool boys here. Cancelo was a nice pivot. I got there some places. I don't know why I didn't think about it. Oh, and he got the Gallagher 2.3%.
Oh, nice. Cancelo was on the left again. I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I only got some a couple times, and I didn't even know he did this well.
Yeah, he's still good on the left. That's the thing. Like, but when he's on the right, especially, he would have been in every one of my lineups. Like, I would have played him over probably James, not Alexander Arnold, but probably over James here. The thing about TAA is like Brighton has a good defense, and I figured they would be crossing a lot more, and it just didn't get there because it was more of an open game. So I think they played more through the center. I don't know these guys, so I'm going to skip them. He went to Chucho, still with the Chelsea. So he just went with the Chelsea core. I mean, Newcastle is bad, and we should have saw it, but
I thought that was going to be a 1-0, something like that. I don't know.
I did too. I thought it was going to be 1-0-2, but
yeah,
it doesn't matter because if you get the pieces right, like it's still going to be less owning leverage, and so
that's true. Yeah,
Josh again with the front. Sar, El Yunusi didn't pop off. This all makes sense down here. If it would have been James, If you would have dropped down to James here, you would have won.
Yeah, that's tough.
Pretty much, I think if you had these two guys, like generally you were making the rest of your lineup good enough that if you had James, it was going to work.
Yeah, right.
All right, tendrils. Smart like that was doing that. He went to Jesus. That's a great lineup. That just didn't work out. Robertson really sunk you if you played him because he was the one wing back who didn't do well. Josh again, same thing. He actually gets to Salah with Gallagher. Ooh, and then Richie. Ooh, that hurts.
Richie. Ooh, all right. That's different.
I mean, he's good and he could justify that price. Like if it was 1-0 or if it was 0-0 into the 60th minute, like he could be crossing like, and it was all three of their goals came like 70th minute or later or something. Isn't that right?
They were
64 none.
Yeah,
so
wow.
yeah, it makes sense. It just didn't work.
Right.
Wow, this is the lowest I've ever seen Pew. All right, and then I want to move on from this because so he actually got to Foden. Yeah, he took the right pieces from each game. I get it. I see what he's doing. Here's Belangi. He talked a lot about Chucho. Yeah, I mean, there's enough upside there, enough difference. Storm. Ouch. Report. All right. Oh, here you go. So Jesus was 8, which was as good as Foden, and Grealish was 11. So yeah, so the Jesus, what did I say? Jesus and Sar.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
because that was where the salary was. Yeah, Jesus and Sar would have been much better. Oh, what did Lope do? He still got Salah, huh? That's a pretty cashy lineup.
Yeah. This, I feel like I might have not with Henry in there, but I think I might have made this exact one.
I might have made a lineup very close to that. Lope was he was up towards the top a lot this weekend. So just, all right, so let's move on to today. Not quickly enough. Two game slate. Both favorites win. This is ugly. 3 goals in 5 minutes. All from the guys that you were playing too. So like if you played kind of the core, like Rafinha and Rashica, and then like Rodrigo and James were the 2 other Leeds guys I was getting to. I got to a little Jack Harrison, and boy, he's bad. He hasn't done a damn thing all year.
Yeah, I keep running out 1 or 2 of those lineups, and I almost always regret it with them. I don't know. Yeah, just keep Dan James in the middle there, and like don't worry, don't overdo it with Dallas and them and Harrison in the future. I don't know. Dallas, I think it was okay.
Dallas is fine as a floor, yeah.
Yeah, Harrison was don't even bother, man.
But this is the game you had to really figure out what to do with, and it ended up working out. The first 3 goals rather, were bad for me. You had a lot of Ben Johnson. We'll get to that.
Yeah, he's my boy. I don't know. Like I think I tried last season, like going off of Cresswell to Kufal, and it worked out a few times. And Ben Johnson is very active, and I think he's even better of a pivot off of Cresswell. Who is very pivotal. One of the biggest pivotable guys on
every time I do, he kills me. Every time I pivot off of him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every time. It's one of like, and he does well for me when I do play him, except today really. But like when I pivot, man, he goes off at least 1 assist. But Ben Johnson, I think his debut, I remember playing his debut and he was 2,500, and he was like, play this guy, and he had like 12 floor points.
Whew. My man. Yeah. I'm gonna keep doing it until he gets in that. If he gets up in the 6 range, we'll reevaluate. But yeah, I like him now.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to up near Kufal at 5'6", but 3'5" or whatever he was, 3'6", I think he was today. But so the red card really changed things, and that made me happy because I had plenty of Fornals that bailed me out in cash. That was a late swap thing, which our old friend late swap didn't really miss him. And I got away from Bowen because Bowen didn't work in a lot of the lineups that I made with Rashica and whoever else was in cash for me. So, all right. Oh, this is the last part. Oh, I skipped the biggest part.
Yeah, right. I thought you just wanted to get out past that one completely.
I do.
Do you want to talk? Yeah. Really
quick. This was my big part of the weekend. I had 22 tickets to this thing. And
That's right.
really quick, let's go back to it. We'll remember this, but really quick, going back to United versus Spurs. The last one was sub to sub, so it doesn't matter, but it was Ronaldo from Bruno and Cavani from Ronaldo. So if you liked those three pieces, you were sitting pretty. I had a really small player pool for this one. Like going into it, looking at Spurs, I was like, I'm obviously going to play a lot of Son. I'll sprinkle some Kane, his dumbass, in there. Lucas in like some captain spots and some 1-0 builds. Celso was a nice price. Højbjerg last man in. And I wanted a lot of Emerson Royale for a number of reasons. One, with Ben Davies on the left, I figured they would be in more of a three at the back. They weren't because Nuno is not a good manager. I thought Son would be more of a wing back, which was kind of my fault for thinking that Nuno would do something innovative and play him out of the same spot that he always plays in. But the other thing is United's very susceptible to wing backs. And I knew Royale is more of an offensive wing back, so I thought he would be more involved. And he's the best player for Spurs all day. On the other side, I saw this. I liked that a lot. And then I just played Fernandez and Shaw. And then like Fred and Maguire fit where they were. The ultimate difference was Wan-Bissaka for me. He ended up having a nice game. And I usually play him. I just didn't get to him. So here was my best lineup. You can see everything I just talked about. Less than 4 points away from 10,000 bones. That one hurt. But so Emerson in the captain spot was mostly where I was playing. I loved the two up front. I thought for sure they would assist each other at least once. I thought it would go the other way, but I played heavy on Cavani and Royale just to be different. Because I knew a lot of ownership would be Son, Ronaldo, Bruno, and some Kane. So I played a lot of Cavani and a lot of Emerson. Luke Shaw let me down quite a bit. Rough game, but someone had to have it. And generally, I find the one thing that holds me away from winning these big contests is one of the core cash guys always disappoints and it doesn't get there. And I'm not surprised it was Luke Shaw. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Luke Shaw wasn't in any of these lineups. I also wouldn't be surprised if he was. So the winner, I believe, was a Ronaldo cap. Ronaldo, Cavani, oh, there's Shaw right there, but it was Wan-Bissaka, Royale, and Son.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that'll do it.
So I think even Wan-Bissaka for Shaw would have won it for me, right? What's the difference there?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Or
3.7 wouldn't have done it. I would have been second.
Yeah.
But yeah. I would have gotten second and won $5,000, I think. Regardless. I'm surprised I didn't build this exact lineup, to be honest with you, because Royale was my one-off in all of my lineups, and I played plenty of I didn't want this one lineup, and I didn't play it because I didn't want to split, and turns out I would have split second 3 ways, which would have been $2,500. I would have been okay with that. So
yeah, I can't believe Fernandez had that low of a day.
Yeah, with the assist.
Right, that's nuts.
So this is the same lineup except with Lo Celso instead of Royale. Of course, someone started Rashford. Great, congrats on winning $200 more than me for being dumb. There's my tilt moment. All right, so am I the only one without Ronaldo cap? The highest one without Ronaldo cap? Sure am. So that was that was the Shaw switch. Or no. No Cavani. Okay. I'm surprised that finished as close to me as it did. Did Cavani end up with a Cavani? No, he was better than Cavani. So Cavani is score a goal, finish with less points than a goal is. So finish with 11 points on a 12-point goal because he does not do anything else.
Oh, okay. But what does he get? Pick up the yellow?
Yeah,
foul. Is that what? Yeah. Okay. He really does.
So he had 1 shot on goal, 1 goal, 4 shots, 1 foul committed, 16 passes. So he took 4 shots, but yeah. So 1 yellow card is much less than that. All right. So do I want to just look at mine really quick? Yes, we do. All right. Cavani 1-0. Royale 1-off. 3 core guys, keeper. Nothing crazy. De Gea keeper. The 4 guys that I wanted, Royale 1-off. Same thing, Shaw in the captain spot. Ronaldo, this is the only way. This is the best player available to make it work, even though I think I could have gotten Wan-Bissaka, and I did think about it. And that would have been, I think it might have been enough to win it for me or come close. No, it would have been a 9-point swing, but that would have been another one that was in the top 6. Oops. All right. Lucas, Cap. Basically a variation. This was just without Cavani and with Fred. Interesting that that's where I got. No Ronaldo, but with Lo Celso. Another Ronaldo cap with Ben Davies. Don't know why I did that. Here's my first one. So yeah, the point of me showing you all these is one, Harry Kane sucks, and all my Harry Kane lineups are sub 80. But it's just a very narrow pool of players, and that's more the point that I was trying to make. What was my worst lineup? I mean, that makes sense. Stacking the team that got slaughtered, generally not good. Okay, moving on to today. All right, I wanted to show a cash lineup, but I don't think we need to spend any time on it because this was not my original cash lineup. I believe I had Danny Ings in the utility spot. And then this was this was Martinez. But I went for more of a floor once I got the Dan James assist and all these points. So McGinn, Cresswell. I mean, this is a viable lineup, although I wouldn't have paid up a keeper to get Liam Cooper, but the Benny Johnson goal took me down. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Like I said, did the same thing, just barely cashed in cash. This is the $1.
Yeah.
The best one was, that's quite a cash lineup. Floor. As long as you got Bowen, Cresswell, and Rafinha and Rashica, I'm not going to be mad at you with a cash lineup on this 2-game slate. Like he was a winger that makes sense. I didn't mind paying down or midway for Martinez. There's only like a $400 difference. And then Rodrigo had a good chance as a one-off goal as anyone when he scored it. So same thing, but with Benny. Here, this is just all my boys. All the FSI boys right here. So yeah, FSI boys had a good day. Speaking of which, my boy, we buried the lead. Our boy here with really the 2 best lineups. Oh no, this is just a bunch of EMAC lineups. EMAC's another Osmo guy. These were all different lineups, but they were just very probably.
Yeah, I saw him in there. I thought he ran a line on it, but he just pretty much was swapping out like one guy off in there here and there. And I got him.
You did get him. Let's look at the winner. All right. Oops.
Yeah, man. Wow, finally. This is my first one of this.
I had pretty much the same lineup, except because I liked Zuma, but I just had Cresswell, and I probably paid down for Fornells. I obviously paid down. No, you had 1,200 in cap space, so.
Oh God, did I? Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, wow.
That's fine though. Like a lot of times, we're the ones that win because you're gonna be so different.
Yeah, that Ben Johnson is. I get. I can't sing enough praises of him. Well, especially while he's under 5,000 like that. I'd feel okay just like waiting to see what happens with West Ham and see if they'll put points up, and they sure did. I don't know. Bowen is I've been ambivalent about him before.
I know you don't like him.
I like him now. I finally figured out. It's not Cresswell is the guy you want to work off of. Bowen, you want to have him, and it's been mostly good so far. There's a rocky start, but
I wouldn't say that's a law. I would say make one of both.
I say it's something that I want to do at West Ham in GPPs.
That's fine.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that as long as it works.
I mean, so Bowen has more upside. So in GPPs, you're probably right. Like, Cresswell can get a goal. Cresswell can get an assist, but more likely Bowen's going to be the one getting goals. And
exactly,
it's about even on assists. It's just the price difference.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So you're right. I take back what I said. You're right.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Of course, Rabina is going to make it in here, and I want it. Yeah, there was a couple that I was just like really like. I've gotten good at limiting my exposure to leads. I had some rough starts at the beginning of the season and last season too, but keep it nice and tight with them. Don't even bother don't try to get crazy with defenders. Don't overload on the guys up front. Just go with this two with the Raff and Rod, and they'll be good.
I will temper that and say it all depends on the slate, but you're not wrong.
I know. Well, I'm just I got my swag up a little bit because of this. So I'm gonna start talking like I'm authority. Who was the other?
One more than me recently.
I was doing a lot of Norman with Rashica in some lineups, and just getting off of him and finding space for Rodrigo because of Ben Johnson, I think was a really nice. After that first game, I was happy to see a lot of that build to pivot off of for the late swap. So that was cool.
And yeah, here's your 7th place lineup, which other than EMAC, like you beat everyone else again, including me just below you.
This is exactly the same. Cresswell, except for Fornals. Oh, and what Ibana? Yeah, that's right. I needed that. Yeah, that's right. I remember making these and being like, okay, I'm gonna play a little smart here, go for Cresswell, and then Ibana might put in a header, and then we'll see what happens with that. And Fornals, I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna roll the dice on Fornals, and thank God I did because he put in that goal. Thank you. Who is it? Ezri Konsa for the red card. Appreciate it.
Really quick, what was my lineup?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fornals and Cash and Cruel. No Rodrigo.
Cash here is interesting. Were you looking for like an assist or something, or like another one of his like just off goals?
He has good floor games, and I wasn't expecting 4-1 game. I thought I had enough to catch all the goals. Because again, like I reshuffled a lot of these lineups after the first one, and I already had Rafinha and Rashica, and the Norwich goal was probably 0% owned if I had to guess. And
I didn't see anyone with that guy. I hovered over him for 1 second. I was almost there, and I went with Ozan, and but I didn't need it. I thought for sure someone would knock out.
That always happens. It's like if you pick Tarkowski, Ben Mee's going to score, and it's if you pick Ibana in your best lineup, it's going to be Zuma.
Yeah, right.
If you pick Chalobah, it's going to be Christensen. That's how it always works.
Yeah.
And like I used to actually go to Soccer Reference and look up shots per game by center backs to ultimately make my punt center back decision. And it worked on Zuma, and then like it never has worked elsewhere. So
because if it's gonna be one, it might as well be the other. Like you said, it's just, it's gonna be the other one that you go with. And God, whatever. I was just start picking the tallest one, whoever the tallest center back.
That's not a bad. There's a dude. God, I forget who it is. I want to say he played. Is it Burnley? No, it's the same dudes. God, who is it?
When you talk, this is a really tall guy.
Yeah.
You're not thinking of Vestergaard, are you?
No, he is big boy.
Okay. Though. He looks like Frankenstein, man. Shout out to Halloween.
He does. It does. God, was it today? Did they play today?
Oh, that center back from Norwich, by the way, I finally found a guy with it. 0.6% owned.
Okay. That's like literally one guy.
Yep.
I forget who it is. Big old boy, like 6'4", 6'5". He played the other day. I'm convinced he plays for Burnley. Like he has to. Oh, it's Nathan Collins.
Oh yeah, because he scored another day, didn't he?
He's 193 centimeters, however much that is.
Let's do some quick.
6'3".
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
All right.
I thought he was taller than that.
He scored pretty recently, right? Didn't he?
Or we know that's 6.3 feet. So what's a third of a foot? 4? 6'4"?
Yeah.
That's closer to 6'5". All right. Ooh, boy, math, not good.
He didn't score. I don't know.
Here's another lineup of yours, by the way, sitting in 11th. Same thing, but you got your boy Tommy. Another one with Antonio, and then there's Kabak.
There's yeah.
You'd have been up here with that one.
That would have been nuts. Yeah, that number 11 one, I always have to throw in with Suchek in just in case. I know he's not the header guy anymore these days.
He got close.
He did
early in the match. Early in the match, I think he put one off the bar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
See, but okay, so like you had a really tight player pool here, and that's kind of what I was talking about. And I don't do that as much in Classic. I generally open my player pool up. But like when you do that and it goes off, like this is the kind of day that you have, especially if you win, because that means you had enough elsewhere to like get you around there.
Yeah. Yeah, Rashica really held me through on a lot of these. I think he was in almost every single one just because that price was killer. So that helped me. But it's a good play too. I'm not saying that's all luck. He's solid.
On the opposite hand, like
Sure.
you had a lot of Rodrigo too, though. Like I haven't seen one without Rodrigo.
Yeah,
but that's because
yeah.
your Rodrigo ones are gonna be the top. But you have a lot of lineups up here. I don't see. Okay, probably not. Yeah. So here's one without him. But
I
like
had probably was like half in like I probably had him in like 8 or some or total something like that.
Gotcha. That's a good number. That's a good number for a goal dependent striker. And he's like we said, like he was as good a goal dependent striker on the slate, especially for his price. Like you take his price relative to like Antonio's price. Like obviously Antonio could have gone out and got you too, but it's Villa, it's not Norwich. So so those are kind of where those decision points lie. But yeah, man, you killed it. That's sweet.
Yeah. I finally reined in the Antonio urge, so that was really important too. I think I've gotten a good handle on West Ham. I like them a lot, and I also really like playing them. So let's keep that going.
Cool. Yeah, they technically I'm not supposed to like them, but I like Antonio a lot, and I like Suchek, and I don't have a problem with any of the other dudes. So
listen, man, it's not don't take these petty rivalries out of your mind.
I don't.
As long as there's the ownership team in charge of Spurs, nothing's ever working out how we want it. Probably not.
So they got the stadium. Now they just need people to figure out what the hell to do with the money they make from it.
Great, beautiful stadium. Yeah, every time. Yeah, you can't talk about Spurs without like throwing a bone to the beautiful stadium.
I mean, so stadiums are such a big thing, and with the power structure of English football, because like ticket prices are where you make a lot of your money, other than developing good players and actually selling them when they want to leave to the biggest club that's going to give you a ton of money, and then like actually using it well. But it's the using it well that they don't understand how to do. They got one player right, like in terms of guys that they went out and bought early. Like I'm trying to think of good signings that Spurs have made. Like, so Lucas cost a decent amount of money and has done like what you would expect. You take the Ajax goals away, or like if you give them to someone else, and Lucas has been serviceable for how much they paid for him. Serge Aurier was the same way, even though he blew some games because he always had a mistake in him. But like Deli's the only player, and well, no, Deli and Toby. Deli, he only cost $5 million, you might have heard. And he was integral in that run. And then so was Toby, but he came in, I think, the year after they finished second. I think he came in after the Leicester year. So like, I don't even know that I need to count him. And then Eriksson was the one player they got out of the Bale stuff, and when he moved, that was the end. I think I said it then. You probably heard me say it then. I know I said it then because I always looked at them and I was like, this whole team revolves around him, and they have not replaced him. Lo Celso is supposed to be that guy. He is not. And Ndombele is supposed to be that guy. I think he can be, but not as good.
You have to use them different, man. I don't know. Yeah, Eriksson too it's funny. Eriksson, like being in the beginning of the end too. It's because he's also emblematic of not selling a guy, not just like keeping your guy in your back pocket, but not selling him too. Like, God,
why'd they sell him? I think his contract.
Oh wait, did they sell him?
I think his contract was coming up. Yeah, they ended up selling. Yeah, they sold him. They sold him. He had half a year on his contract, so he was walking in half a year anyway. Kane has 3 years on his contract. That's why they could power play him.
Okay. But, I think I was just thinking Eriksson. They had him benched for so long. He like near that end there. He was just like never playing.
Never played, and when he did, he was bad.
Yeah, that was.
He was sulky, kind of like another guy I know that currently plays for him.
If I had an anti-tilt, by the way, it's that I'm finally vindicated about Harry.
Oh no! Did we lose you?
So happy for it.
I lost you for the entire thing.
I'm go ahead.
I heard you say, like, I knew exactly where you were starting. You said you had an anti-tilt and you were vindicated for Harry and it cut out. So go ahead.
The more because I've just been, everyone seems to, well, not everyone, but more and more you're hearing he's a bum, he's a passenger, he's dead weight, should have sold him. I've been saying it for years. I'm a big my strategy from FIFA is sell a guy when he's at the top of his career for 200 million pounds.
Yeah, I mean that's what a lot of teams do. Unless you're a big club, you're the one buying them. But they're a big club; they're just not oil money big, and you still have to play.
I know.
You still have to play your hand financially, and that's selling guys. But here's
and
another
who
guy.
are you gonna spend it on? Who are you gonna fucking spend it on when you do make all that money? They probably would have blown it like on 5 Soldado or whatever.
Probably, yeah. Because I mean,
sorry, what were you gonna say though?
Oh, I was just gonna say I thought of another guy they sold and have never replaced. Kieran Trippier.
Oh yeah, who? Oh God, man. Yeah, he was. Am I not? Maybe I was thinking of him too. Oh, there's another guy. I noticed he was just on the back burner so long. I was like, what is going on with this guy?
He had the gambling thing.
Oh, my man.
Yeah, right.
Hey, we love gambling. Yeah. We love gambling here.
He's definitely tilt up C. Absolutely. But yeah, like he plays for Atletico, like he plays for a better team and starts every match.
Good for him. Good for him. I'm happy for you, Kieran.
It's a chubby bloke from Burnley. All right, my voice is going. I should probably get out of here.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I got some candy to eat.
Oh yeah, happy Halloween indeed.
Happy Halloween, brother. Actually, I'm probably not going to be passing anything out. I'm just going to be watching scary movies all night.
Nice. That's
fuck them kids.
I got no comeback for that. That's amen.
That's our sign off.
Yeah, hey, we finally found it.
Fuck them kids. Bye.
Seriously, happy Halloween. That's all I got. Go ahead. Hit him with it again and I'll close it out.
Fuck them kids. Bye-bye.